Today, a mega taste test. Can our normals identify brands versus supermarket-owned brands in a cheap, mid-range, and more premium option?
Oh, I'm pumped for this because I always think that I can.
We'll find out.
First round, pasta. We have 2 supermarket-owned brands and then 1 premium brand. Can you pick the premium brand?
So it's the
pasta itself.
It's the penne.
Oh,
I thought this was sauce.
I thought this was going to be sauce.
Here we go. Okay.
All penne have been boiled in identically salted water for 11 minutes and then mixed into the same sauce.
There is difference.
That is al dente than that.
That is al dente.
And for clarity, all of these pastas were cooked the same way, but a little while ago, and have been quickly reheated. What are you tasting? What are you experiencing?
I'm experiencing differences in texture, but also flavour.
Are you getting flavour?
Regardless of the sauce. It's got aubergine in it. So it's a alla norma sauce.
I would say that C is quite smushy. The texture of it, after you bite into it, it kind of just... Whereas B, I would say, is still quite al dente in how it's cooked. And A sits somewhere in between.
I agree. There's a smush factor that starts down there, then moves to here, and then that has a bite.
Couple of extra pointers for you. Because water doesn't need to be listed in the ingredients list, 2 of these pastas have a single ingredient, durum wheat semolina, and 1 of them has 2 ingredients.
Ooh. That's mad. The fact that there is such a difference to me.
Lock in an answer. Remember, it's the premium brand we want you to identify. We will then talk about all 3. The cheapest of the 3, the mid-range, and the premium brand. Answers locked in. You seemed quite confident. Let's have a look in 3, 2, 1.
B.
B.
100%.
Standout difference.
Standout difference. Which is mad when you consider that they all use basically the same 1 ingredient. 1 has 1 additional. What could that be? Just salt?
I also thought visually the lines in B were more defined.
Yeah, they're actually deeper.
Yeah.
So as you can, if you can see, they actually hold more sauce. I thought B actually tasted nicer. The flavour of the flour or the durum was coming out more, almost in a more toasted way. It was just more prominent, whereas the others just kind of tasted as a vehicle for the sauce.
Well, I can reveal in this first round for pasta, definitely. You are both absolutely spot on.
Woo!
Here are the 3 pastas we're talking about. A is Asda's Just Essential range, their penne. 2 ingredients, durum wheat semolina and soft wheat flour, packed in Italy.
Packed in Italy.
B, the one that you both chose as premium, is Giuseppe Coco and their durum wheat pasta, produced by Pasta Martha's with a single ingredient, durum wheat semolina, although they do make a point that the water is spring water from the River Verde, and the dry atmosphere surrounding the mountains and the traditional machinery is what makes it so recognisable in both texture and quality.
I wouldn't argue with them because it's really good.
And then C is Sainsbury's penne pasta. Again, 1 ingredient, durum wheat semolina, packed in Italy. And we think from looking at it, although we're not 100% sure, the premium one, B, is pushed through a bronze die, and it is the metal bronze and the extrusion of that gives you that unique texture. It's a slightly sharper cut, exactly what you said, even after cooking, better for the sauce to cling to.
This is a lot more calorific.
Oh, is that true?
Per 100 grams, 360 calories. Per 100 grams, 164 calories.
And then this one, per 100, is 147.
Chances are nutritionals in different countries are calculated differently, i.e. the dry weight versus the cooked weight.
I see.
So if I put them in order of personal preference, I'd have said 100% that one's the best. I'd actually move towards the Asda one.
Yeah.
And we're purely talking the texture game because I think they taste the same as the Sainsbury's. And then the Sainsbury's in last place, just because, like you said, it's a little bit mushier. They're all quite similar in size, the branded being bigger, and actually the expansion is quite impressive Once it's taken on that water and become hydrated.
There's obviously a huge difference in the quality of flour, and we talk a lot about the strength of flour, the gluten strength, and different flours having different properties, how fresh it is, its gluten content, and even its origin, where it's grown, will have a different nutritional makeup, and therefore it will perform differently in the pan.
And I've never considered spending more money on dried pasta.
Never.
I'm the person bringing the flavour.
Yeah,
The pasta's not bringing the flavour, I am.
You're the flavour giver.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. The difference being, I suppose, the premium product from Italy, perhaps just tossed in butter, salt, black pepper, maybe a bit of parmesan is enough. Whereas actually, if you're right, if you're dousing it in a delicious sauce, how much difference does it make? Well, a lot in texture, but maybe not in taste. Until we talk price.
Yes.
The Asda, the cheaper of the three, 41 pence per 500 grams. Next up in price,
Now we're talking.
Sainsbury's, 69p per 500 grams. So, 50% more. And then the premium brand, £4.50 per 500 grams.
Wow.
Wow.
So 11
41p.
times the price of Asda.
Wow.
It's not 11 times better.
It's not, but it is better.
And what we wanted to address is that when you talk about supermarket own label, very few UK supermarkets own their own pasta factories. Most of them have their own brand pasta made
This is why I'm
by
here.
a private label.
This is why I'm here, to learn about this stuff.
And there's every chance that a factory could end up making multiple own label products for multiple supermarkets. They might specialise in the cheaper range, they might specialise in a more premium range, but it's very possible that what the factory spits out just goes in different packaging.
And what's really interesting is that specifically when it comes to dried pasta, you've got Asda, which is one of the more budget supermarkets in the UK. If that's the most budget penne that you can get from a budget supermarket and it still holds up, that is a great rule and thing to know when buying your groceries and spending money going forward. There is places to go more and more right.
Yeah, but you're not wrong.
Got to be prepared to pay for it.
Yeah.
One other observation, the cheapest one, in order to keep costs down, if you look at the packaging, it doesn't even say penne on it. It just says pasta shape. We don't know, but our hunch is it means they can use the same packaging for all of their pasta shapes, and the fact that it's a clear bag, you can see what shape you're getting, job done. Rather than have different packaging for different pasta shapes, your eyes do the job for you.
That's really clever.
He's the postman, he always delivers.
Yeah.
Let's move on to round two.
I'm already loving this video, Ebbers. Now we are talking.
Are we missing 0.1415 of one over here?
Very good. Very good. Round two, chicken and leek pie.
Oh, fantastic.
Same rules apply. Each is a
favourite.
single serve. Two of them are supermarket own brand. One of them is a branded pie.
There is no such thing as bad pie.
It's like sausage roll. You can't get a bad sausage roll. But we
Start with A.
Start with A.
What do we notice about the
Super.
pie construction?
Flaky pastry on the top.
We've got some herbs on the top.
Yep. We've also got some almost, is that caramelization of something? But
Yeah.
some browning. It's a lot darker than the others. Well, cheers. You can taste all the individual components. The thing I find about chicken pies, and I eat a lot of them, even when you cook them to instructions, the chicken can overcook and do that horrible, bouncy, rubbery, that sound you get. That is not the case here. You really taste the pastry. Is it is a butter pastry?
It is an all butter pastry.
Because that's great.
You've spotted whole grain must in that, otherwise, yeah. British chicken and leek.
Yep. Really lovely and creamy sauce that's gone in with that as well.
Enough sauce. The
Yeah.
leeks are really sweet,
Moving along.
but
Very flaky,
okay.
but a very different colour and texture of the interior of the pie.
Flakier top, definitely. Less, I would say less firm and crispy crust, definitely. This one has ham in it. The
This
first
does
one didn't
have
ham
added
in
ham, yeah.
it. Okay, cheers.
The sauce is a lot thinner. You're not.
There's more of it.
There is more sauce than filling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's seasoned better. And I don't know whether it's warmth of maybe some pepper coming through, or maybe it's some of the herbs on the top. It almost tastes blander.
It needs another dimension.
It does. Interestingly enough, the ham doesn't offer it.
No,
The ham's nice.
but whereas the ham, you want it to provide the saltiness.
It's not salty at all. Look, I think we've just found our calling. Evans hasn't had a word in edgeways.
Don't need to. You're ticking all the boxes for me. Pie C, the third pie.
I see. Oh, I'm surprised by cutting into this one.
Different look altogether.
Don't judge a pie by its exterior.
That
is what I'm learning.
That's really got a ring to it.
This is a combination of short crust and puff, so it's short crust sides and a puff lid.
That is a very good pie.
I think my mind might have been changed.
Oh, wow. I mean, look at the size of the chicken pieces in there.
Really warming black pepper in there. Is that tastes more of a white wine?
Wine. Yeah, it's got white wine in it.
Yeah, it's a white wine sauce.
God, you guys are...
Give us a pie,
We
Evans.
know pies!
I'd love to say you're brilliant, but the first time you mentioned white wine is in the third pie, which is the only one without white wine in it.
Oh, no!
There's a different profile in this one. The leeks are...
Rosemary salt. That one is finished with rosemary salt.
Has it got celery? Are they leeks?
Celery in it, leeks.
Celery. So the leeks and the celery have been julienned. Whereas they're sort of chopped in this one.
So two of these are supermarket own brand, and one of them is what we'd call a premium brand. All I need you to write down is the premium brand. Answers locked in. Flip them round in 3, 2, 1.
C.
C.
You both have identified C as the premium brand.
Yes.
But I found this one difficult because A and C were both exceptional pies for different reasons.
Yeah.
I can reveal that in this round, the premium chicken leek pie is C.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay,
This
we
is
know
what you're
pies.
eating.
Who are Willie's pies?
Willie's pies are handmade in Hackney, so super local to us, East London. So A is the M&S Gastro Pub chicken and leek pie for one. Curated ingredients from the Gastro Pub larder. Excellent sort of origin of the chicken from M&S assured chicken farms in the UK. And you're spot on with the flavourings, heavy on mustard, whole grain mustard, but also with rosemary oil. And it is a great pie. Also the highest percentage of chicken. In the middle there is Morrison's chicken ham and leek pie. Now that is made in Yorkshire. Morrison's have their own factories, which means they make all of their own pastry products, whereas a lot of supermarkets outsource to other great manufacturers. But actually, Morrison's have all their own supply up
If you are
in
a
Yorkshire.
northern brand, you're going to be making your own pies.
You're making your own pie, and you're making a
Trust
damn
no
good
one
pie at
else.
a damn good price. We'll come on to price in a minute. And then C is Willie's pies, and it's his roast chicken, rosemary, and leek. Pastry is important. You look at the M&S pie, it's an all butter puff pastry, and the stock is just as important as the chicken. The same with Willie's. It's the second ingredient after chicken is chicken stock made with bones. When we talk about price though, we'll start with B, Morrison's, which is the cheapest at £1.75. And then it jumps up quite substantially to A at £5.50.
That's a big jump, isn't it?
Do you know how big that jump is? 3.14 times. You can't make this stuff up.
Shut up.
You cannot make this stuff up.
That's amazing.
It is pi times more. And then C, Willie's is the most premium. It is £6, so it's 50p more than the M&S.
You get 50 grams more pie in your M&S.
For 50 pence less. And you both got a point, spot on. Let's move on to round 3.
Now, whilst we all reset here, I've got some fantastic news for you. This summer, our brand new live show is going to be back to school. We're going back to our actual school where the four of us met. This is going to be like the sorted origin story, a whole weekend full of games and quizzes and hangouts, all the usual things you love, plus some brand new ones as well, all through a food and drink lens. So if you'd love to come and join us, we'll be taking registers. To do that, you'll need to get yourself a ticket. Tickets and information available downstairs. Look at that for an emblem.
Excellent. This is all the ones we've done are all things I regularly purchase.
Comment down below though, if there are ingredients you particularly want us to look at and compare, we're very happy to do that. Comment below. They are all lightly salted potato crisps.
Not by you.
A, B and C.
Oh, the size of that.
That's massive.
What are we observing from the potato? The size, the skin on, skin off, the colour, the flavour.
Thick, very crispy. Almost akin to, dare I say, a kettle chip.
I'd also say quite rustic in the
Yeah.
appearance and shapes and
Yeah. Okay. Thinner, instantly, translucent. However, as crunchy. Perhaps more.
maybe slightly saltier as well, actually.
Yeah, definitely saltier. You can see bits of the skin on the edges. What?
This is our job.
I know. It's great, isn't it?
So you're enjoying the crisps. Which one do you think might be the premium brand, or which one's definitely not?
Less al dente.
Less salt than B. Possibly less salt than A.
Well, now he's made me think.
Okay, we're locking in an answer. Both been able to commit. Okay, we'll flip the boards around in 3, 2, 1.
A.
A.
A is the brand.
I can reveal that the premium brand, in this instance, the most expensive, is B. Here's what you're looking at. Kettle.
Oh!
That was Kettle.
Aldi.
No way. Okay. I think I agree with you in that B, more salty.
Yeah.
These were my favourite. I thought they were the most crispy and the most salted. But by looks, I thought that looks like a premium crisp, and it's pretty much. It's 5% off.
So the M&S ones have got the most salt, 1%, or 1 gram per 100 grams. The Kettle chips have actually got the least, the lightly salted, 0.65 grams per 100 grams. And the Aldi ones, very close behind the M&S, 0.9. A is Aldi, lightly salted crisps. B is Kettle crisps, again lightly salted, hand-cooked in Norfolk, small batches, British potatoes. And C is M&S hand-cooked, lightly sea-salted crisps, thinly sliced, again, small batches, British potatoes. So they all use British potatoes, they're all cooked in small batches, thinly sliced and lightly salted. Now, Kettle chips are made by Kettle Foods. They're based in Norfolk. Where supply allows, they say, the potatoes come from no more than 30 miles from their Norfolk base. But Kettle Foods also produce crisps for a number of high-end supermarket as their own label. Waitrose and M&S, we think, is the case. So essentially, if you have a little sneaky peek at the Kettle Foods financial reports, they've secured...
Oh, you've done some moulling! You smooth!
They have secured new own label contracts to mitigate competition, and Waitrose is historically one of their premium partners. So we think the Waitrose, and from a lot of threads and conversation and blogs we've seen online, people presume the M&S crisps are also produced by Kettle Foods, although that we can't confirm. The chances are they come from the same factory. Aldi, different type of potato, cooked to a different colour, and that may well be the type of potato and the amount of sugar it has in it, is a separate product, but it is also the cheapest on the table, being the budget supermarket.
Wow, this could be a game changer.
At £1.15 per bag, compared to M&S's £1.80 and Kettle Crisps £2.65.
Yeah, that's... Wow.
So a lot more than twice the price of the one that you actually both preferred and thought was the premium. Aldi, lightly salted crisps, British potatoes, the way forward.
They have some great products and they have some average products. And that's what becomes difficult. If you want the best of everything, even own brand stuff, you have to shop in 3 or 4 different supermarkets to get the best stuff at the best
Which may
prices.
not be a
really
realistic option.
not convenient.
Nobody has the time for that. But as is always the case, a lot of supermarket own brands, they don't necessarily own their own factories. They outsource to other places that do very, very similar products for a number of people. And some of them might even be the premium brands making a premium product for an own brand supermarket. Comment down below, was any of that useful or interesting? And if you want specific information on other ingredients, you're gonna have to listen down below so we can have a look at them.
Please like the video. We need 15,000 back to 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 back.